Hi, everyone. It's Sybil. Welcome to I am Sybil Wilkes, and this is such a pleasure for me. I love this guy more than the law allows. He gives me such joy, such inspiration, and
Wow.
also, no offense to his bride, but he gives the greatest hugs as well. Hello, Griff, comedian extraordinaire. How are
I,
you?
I lean with the hips sometimes, but then I be hard on my upper pressure too. So you get the full square. I'm
It's like
doing amazing.
SpongeBob.
I would just like to tell everybody watching and listening that this lady right here is radio. Like, it is a pleasure to do radio with her and get her kind words all the time because I probably only got 20 something years under her, which is make me, oh, look at him, newlywed. And you know what I'm saying? So I love you, man.
I love you too. So I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Griff, come on in this house.
Can
You
I bring
ready?
my dog, or is you one of them people? Don't bring your dog if you come over,
The
people.
dog is welcome too. As a matter of fact, that's a really good point, Griff, because I am really wanting a dog these days. And so I've been
Let me tell
looking
you
and
what kind. Come here. Up. Come
oh,
here. All the way up. Come on.
what you
You know how to
got?
do it. I ain't even gonna let you. Come here. Come on.
What is it?
Come see Sips.
Oh, look at him. Is that a
This
terrier?
Jack Russell Terrier. It will be 13 in March, and she is the smartest animal I've ever had in my life.
And
Um,
what's her name?
Madison.
Madison.
We
That
call her
sounds like an easy.
Maddie. She is a emotional dog, so I can bring her to emotional support dog, so I can bring her to burn units and convalescent homes. See what
Oh.
she doing? This all she wants. She ain't. And guess what? I have to almost choke an old person to give me my dog back because they be like,
When
can
you
we
go
get no,
into
you
the
can't get
nursing
my dog.
homes.
Hey, one of you people, come hold her down. That's like, look at her.
Look at her.
She don't care how loud I
Ooh,
am. Look at her face.
she's so calm.
If somebody say, oh my God, you got a dog, I'm scared of a dog. I
Yeah,
go, if that dog even
look
looks
at
at you,
her
mean, kick her through the glass.
and see what happens.
And I can tell her that lady scared of dogs. Give her a second, and she gonna stay away until she keep easing to the person. Go, I like this dog.
Oh
This
yeah,
dog is different. So I suggest a Jack Russell Terrier because
I
she's so
like it.
awesome.
I
God
like it.
damn,
It's
she's
she's
so awesome.
beautiful. She's one of
Oh my
those
gosh,
white with
she's
brown.
sweating right now though. It's November, so twice a year she shed. But we got
Oh,
this while I was on the cruise.
oh, on duty. Beware, guard Jack Russell Terrier on. Oh, that's really sweet. So I was saying
She's
that.
not biting nobody ever. If they rob my house, they're gonna say, let's get the dog.
Have you always been a dog person?
My whole life, I probably had 10, 11 dogs growing up. My dad had a Doberman Pinscher for about 11, 12 years. So I had Rottweilers, Mastiffs, Cane
Oh
Corsos,
wow.
mutts, ones that we don't even care. Dogs. I'm a bit of a dog whisperer. So if you think you like me, the animals love me because
Oh.
I put an invisible me in front of all animals and say, don't bite me, bite anybody else, but don't bite me. I sound loud. I'm not barking. I do that all before I pet them.
Oh, that is so great. I'm trolling all of the websites these days, trying to figure out what I want. I grew up with dogs, but I haven't had one in a very long time.
Can
And
I buy
so,
you one?
can you buy me a dog? You got a suggestion besides the
One,
Jack Russell?
no.
Or
One of them what they call
oh,
that?
Yolanda suggests a hypoallergenic, doesn't
Get you
shed,
one of
and
those, but
yeah.
real smart, a little smart one.
Okay, okay, all right.
Like you, yeah, I suggest a schnauzer. They got different
I that was
sizes.
one of my favorite dogs. We had a miniature schnauzer. His name was Sir Lancelot.
Absolutely. So I
Yeah.
ain't got to tell you nothing about schnauzers. I never had one of them, but my wife had one, and that might be our next dog.
Are
Um,
you open to having more than one at a time?
well, I got a strong no, but she say no for reals. I would get a cat. Like I would get a cat right now,
Mhm.
and I would get a puppy at the same time.
Oh,
And but
yeah.
I would just want some more space. Like I like dogs to be dogs. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah, and have some space to roam
But
and
my
run.
wife is allergic to that some cats, so I can't
Oh,
never have a cat again unless death do us part, and then I can get
that
some
ain't
cat.
happening. That ain't
I
happening.
know.
Griff, as we talk about all of our personal stuff, let's talk about things that are going on in the news. It is a good day for the family, for the man himself, and for his family and supporters. The execution sentence of Julius Jones was commuted today. Just that close to the time that he was scheduled to be executed. The Oklahoma governor took his time, Kevin Stitt, but he did commute the death sentence to life in prison. But here's the catch: without the possibility of parole.
Oh no, they ain't throw that in there, did
Yeah,
they?
yeah. And his parole board said that he should get life in prison with parole consideration. The governor,
So the
who is
gut.
a son of
Oh,
a
so the
gun.
governor did and didn't at the same time.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Got it.
They argued that the state's execution process amounted to a cruel and unusual punishment. We are going to see what happens, but obviously, as our friend Reverend Bernice King says, the work of justice continues, and that is exactly what will happen. Were you watching this case the way a lot of us were in terms of
Uh,
just coming down to the
we've
last minute?
had the one of the people that call us all the time, Pastor Mike McBride. He actually brought the family to the place where he was right driving them to the place where they was going to
Wow.
execute them. So
Mm.
they've been out there praying, and I learned a lot about this months and months ago. And I mean, so I don't understand. Are we happy? Are we glad he not dead, but he still ain't never gonna get out? Like,
Well, I think that that's what we were saying, that the work continues, Griff. And as you know, the work does go on in so many different
of
areas,
course.
especially in this, in life and death. We are happy that he was not executed today,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But we do want to pursue this decision that the governor made in terms of life without parole, and that's
Okay.
where his defense team, the Innocence Project, all those other fine attorneys that got him this far, this is where they come in, and they will do their due diligence to make sure that that is then changed to perhaps it's another trial. I don't know what the process is, and I called our attorney, CK Hoffler, and was unable to get what the avenues are for this.
Exactly.
But we are very grateful that the life of Julius Jones has been spared thus far, and we do look forward to a greater change. And as his dear mother said, it was a good day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bottom line. And is the governor gonna catch heat, or has
Oh
he
yeah,
already caught heat? That's why he did the first part, but not the second part. Because now that we did that part, go ahead and let him out.
right. So here's the thing. The governor's up for reelection, Griff. So he's from a very conservative state, because how conservative are they? They've already started back with the death penalty in this state, which they had not executed anyone for the last 6 years. They resumed it. A black man was put to death recently, and Julius Jones would have been the second person. So the governor's from a very conservative state. He's up for reelection, and he's like, okay, so maybe I won't get every Republican's vote, but I will get some black folks and Democrats votes because I did not let him go to the execution chair. So
Understood.
politics. It's
Un-
politics.
Understood.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I say thank you to all the people that prayed.
Yes.
Thank you for all the people who wrote in and petitioned and marched. And
Right.
I mean, can we be like that all the time and not kill young Dolph getting cookies for his mama? Can we have that same spirit of Ubuntu, which in
Yeah.
South Africa means I am because of you?
Mm.
You
That's a
understand? Like,
tremendous spirit. Yeah.
I mean, yes and no to the governor, and then Chicago, where you from, is still. I was in the military, and Chirac ain't funny,
Yeah.
So why just Illinois? And what's so important that only Illinois police leave gang members alone? Like, so what they did is sparked everybody's political views.
Yeah,
So now
yeah,
we
for
go
sure.
read and we go learn something that the news didn't say and what we
Right.
didn't read on social media, and listen to people like you who really hitting us on the side and from our view, and it just make me go pick up a book or a journal or something and read more.
And have these conversations, Griff.
Right.
That's what we really want to do, and what we say we do all the time here, or try to do, is to inform and empower. And so, by giving you this information and you starting discussions with other people, that's what's really important. Uh,
Absolutely.
and as you are able to do, give us and give me the South African term again.
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. So it's
Ubuntu. Yeah.
Ubunthu. Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
And it
Got it.
means I am, because you like it's peace. It's Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we really let these colonizers make us away.
Right.
Because when you go to Africa, it's you ain't they not from a province, or they from a whole tribe.
Right.
We say I'm from Los Angeles. You say you from Chicago. They say I'm Zulu. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
say I'm Swana. I'm
Mm-hmm.
Xhosa.
Go
You
ahead
know,
with the.
it's it's really bad, but it's as close as I can. I can't roll my R's either, so I'm bilingual in the can't.
People for Griff is not just a wonderful comedian, and not just one of the greatest co-hosts for Erica Campbell Get Up Mornings, but you are a true. I would say you're a true South African for all the time that you have spent there.
Let me tell you something. During COVID, I was working on dual citizenship. Then I
Mm-hmm.
read that I would rather just keep mine and keep, I was like, so
Mm-hmm.
when I go next month, and my wife's never been to Africa at all. So I'm gonna blow her mind with Joburg for 3 days,
Oh
and then
yeah.
we're gonna catch a flight in South Africa, the eastern part of Africa, a little above Ethiopia, real close to Ethiopia, Tanzania. And
Oh,
in
beautiful.
Tanzania, it's an island next to Tanzania called Zanzibar.
Zanzibar, yes.
You got to say it like that. I can't wait to hear how they pronounce it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
can't wait.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Right. That's cool.
excited about that. It'll be my 25th time going to SA
Wow.
in December. And I got a nice radio situation over there that I do stuff from America and keep them abreast, like you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my one-man shows and things I can do from South Africa is really a base for me. Then I could shoot to Nigeria and then shoot to all the other countries, the East African country. You got to think it's comedians that's super duper smart like you that do TV, and they're CNN, and they get all bones in their noses and flies in their eyes out your, and it's tough
Out of your
because you
head.
can't
Yeah.
you can't because if for example, if I say Fred Flintstone, what comes to your mind?
Yabba-dabba-doo.
What's he wearing?
He's wearing a loincloth.
What's it got on it?
Uh Spots.
What color? What else do he got on?
No shoes on his feet. Um
And a little blue tie.
I was thinking about the tie. I couldn't think of I
I
saw
couldn't
something
remember the
blue.
collar. It's a tie. But
That's
when I
right.
say African, what do our people think of?
Yeah.
Bones in their noses,
Yeah.
flies in their eyes, bellies all big. But they never told us that they got families, and they go to
Mhm.
picnics, and they drive Maseratis and four-door Porsches, and all the tribes is 11 official languages and 35 indigenous languages. So it's basically like having a Mexican homie who speak all the way English, and then his Oma call him and he go full Spanish. Then he come back and say, my grandma want me to get her some eggs. So I love it. I
I
love
I
Africa. I
know. I
love
know.
Africa, Sibs, because you could leave America right now and be Sibs for another 40. Like, they need the intelligence. They want it to be understood that y'all riding zebras and apes and
Yeah.
monkeys, we sound like white people.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Griff, we're going to talk about because I am fascinated by your your affiliation, your culture exchange with that continent of Africa. I do want to talk about something that we talked a little bit before the show began, and that is what is going on in one of your adopted states of Georgia. A prayer vigil outside of the trial in Glenn County, Georgia today. This was the prayer vigil that was prompted by one of the defense attorneys trying to create a racial disturbance in the
Right.
courtroom. And so he first started with noticing that Reverend Al Sharpton was in the courtroom, then Reverend Jesse Jackson, and they're like, you know what, all of you, we don't want any more black pastors in the courtroom, kind of stuff. We're going to be out there. We're going to be praying for this family and praying for justice, which these defense attorneys are trying to get their clients off. So the defense attorneys for the men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery all rested their cases Thursday, and the judge dismissed the jury until Monday. And this is as outside hundreds of ministers were rallying and praying outside the Glenn County Courthouse during the lunch break of the trial. Could you please say his name? His mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, said following a prayer, and they all shouted Ahmaud Arbery. This is just it's heartbreaking, and yet it is a pursuit of justice that can be heartbreaking, but hopefully with an outcome that will provide some sort of closure and justice, if closure is possible for his mom.
You know, before I clicked on with you, I was taking a probably starting at about 30 minutes till I was listening to the world news, and on ABC they was live to the courtroom, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they asked the dude who fatally shot him, have you ever stopped somebody who was running before? He said no. She said, okay. She said, have do you always bring guns and kill? Have you ever done that before? He was like, no. You've never stopped anybody. You never. No. Okay, I'm
Mm.
done.
Right, right. So what was it about this man, this child, this boy, this young black man? What was it? That's it, Griff. That's
Nothing
it.
else.
That's it.
Everything I read about that young man is special. I ain't heard nobody say, well, you know, he special. And y'all videotaped it, and it was mean. It was evil, just like when y'all was spraying us with dogs, just like when you hung us. But it's cameras now, and you
Hmm.
still mean,
Still mean.
and we know.
Yeah.
And although it's only 44 million of us in the whole country, excuse me, out of 320, we know what's going. You don't want the few to be the most.
Right.
You don't want that.
And Griff, that spills over into our politics and how we are living in states in which the governors and the Republican led legislatures are trying to prevent us from voting and from making these changes, which goes to the state of Oklahoma with this governor, which goes to the state of Texas where we are, to Georgia. You know, all of these states are working in concert in order to make it more difficult for us, whether it's in the courtroom or at the polling places. And so we are doing what we can in order to bring some closure to all of these challenges, or at least to make progress in them.
I don't want to spend another 30 years in this kind of America.
Hmm.
I could live in too many other places on the whole planet
Right.
where I am loved and I can run where I want to. Um, I
And your
can have my
children and your grandchildren can.
SIBs. you if I move, you know where I'm gonna be.
Yeah, we do. We know exactly what continent you will be on. Let's talk about this Rittenhouse. This is another crazy situation in which children with guns are being heralded in the state of Wisconsin. Kyle Rittenhouse is waiting the another day of jury deliberations and no decision there. And here's a really interesting part of this. MSNBC has been told by the judge, you can't have anybody in my courtroom. And this stems from a freelance reporter who they accuse of following the jury bus and saying that he means no good to the jury and he's trying to corrupt the jury, perhaps. And so
Of course they did. And
this is the
in the
judge.
20s, they called them, in the medieval times, they called them trumped up charges.
Yeah. Right. Exactly right. He says he's instructed that nobody, which is a double negative. So consider that. Nobody from NBC News, MSNBC News should be permitted in this building for the duration of this trial. This is Judge Bruce Schroeder, who also said that the men who were killed could not be called victims. They are looters and rioters. And he has also done everything he can to derail the prosecution, who has been challenged, let's put it that way, in presenting
That's
their
nice.
case. He said the man who allegedly followed the bus identified himself and claimed he was a producer for NBC News employed by MSNBC. MSNBC said, okay, all right, well, we still got to cover this trial, but we'll see. So they said the man was involved. He received a traffic citation near the vehicle carrying the jurors, and we will cooperate with the authorities in any investigation.
You know what I love about this case is it's a white kid.
Yeah.
It's a white kid and 3 white dudes died.
Right.
And it's still wrong. But watch. So now these 3, we've still been trying to figure out, why was it white dudes was them people going there to cause harm? Was they there to rally for? So for the people that's just now tuning in, you keep seeing this white dude on this little boy who they done cleaned his face up. So now he looked like a
choir
10-year-old
boy.
5th grader,
Yeah.
In a suit. So this little boy they keep showing, a brother, an African-American man, had been shot 6-7 times or something in his back.
Yeah.
And the black people there was pissed.
Right.
You understand? So they was all outside. So I'm trying to figure out still. I'm waiting for some lawyer to say, well, why was them other guys there? Was they, when they left their house, what kind of intentions did they have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do we get shirts that say Kitten House on them?
Okay. Let us move on to what's really going on, Griff. And I do want to talk about this. Now, this comes from a recent post from your Instagram. For folks that are listening to us, Griff is showing us his mug of tea, and he is the proud parent of a Jack Russell Terrier. So Griff,
sometimes a jerk, but I
jerk
am
is
too.
a jerk is a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
So my question for you, as we ask what's really going on, Griff, this is from your IG post at 2 trillion. What's the last thing or person who restored your soul? So, Chica, if you have that video, as Griff tells a great story about Ship Church on the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage. Chica?
But we lift our hands and tell you thank you because you made a way. You made a way for us in this room. And I just want to thank you. Oh, some of us have experienced death, but you kept. You kept Come on, we can be all outside talking to ourselves.
So, Griff, yes, I'm sorry. So, let me just say, the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage, known for their church services every morning. Pastor Dr. Bobby Jones was one of the
years.
Yes. And so you tell the story of a minister, a widow, and a comedian, and what you all were able to do, and how people came up to you and talked about how their souls were restored. And that's the question I'm asking to people. I want them to share with you, who or what is the last thing that has restored your soul, and how are you, Griff, as a result of being a part of the Ship Church?
So I named it Ship Church. It's really, and you got to say it fast or it sounds crazy. Ship Church. Church. In the middle of Ship Church, by Wednesday, the pastor, so I said a rapper, a widow, and a comedian walking to a bar.
Rapper.
So technically the room we were in was really a bar. Like it's a bar, it's that big room that they do the go-go and the other stuff in. So, they had waiters and waitresses. It was just first thing in the morning, but so I was being honest. But the lady that y'all heard singing name is Rhonda McLemore. Bobby Jones hosted that church for 18 years. And then Sean McLemore, this cruise would have been his third year hosting it. Sean died 3.5 weeks ago. And who you heard singing was his widow, Rhonda. So when she said he made a way, I mean, we was going from 200 plus people up and up and up every morning. Ship Church was amazing. You had a dude that was on the gospel show with Hezekiah Walker and Kim Burrell, who was the rapper, who was preaching every day on Ship Church. So Ship Church just became this thing with no judgment. You know what I'm saying? If your breath smell like alcohol, so we on a cruise. You better come get some of this Jesus. And I was going on a PA going, good morning. This is your conscience. You gotta listen to Lenny Williams in the barcade, drink in the app till 6, Ship Church. So, 40 minutes, Ship Church.
Come on.
So
won't you come?
And then I was asking people, so Friday was crazy. So every day, random people would come and sing. We ain't even have no instrumentalists, but the dude from the Barcades came in, was the keyboard player. Then Ernest Walker Band. Ernest was on the drums, and one of his keyboardists was playing. Then the lead singer of the Barcades came and sang a Smokey Norfolk song. Then it was Ship Church. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And this is the crazy part. I'm gonna try not to cry. God picked me to host that. Like I was in my element. Like no judgment. Come wear what you want to. We don't care. Wear what you had on last night. We're gonna get this Jesus for 72 minutes and then go drink that whiskey you put in your mouthwash bottle. Oh, just me? I didn't read the manifest. So that's what we was doing at Ship Church. We was laughing hard. Proverbs 17:22. Laughter is good for your soul.
That's right.
Like a medicine. Then we was praising and worshiping. Then we was getting 9-minute, 11-minute words from Big Al Cherry. It was special.
And you were getting a conversation. You were having conversations with people who were saying how their souls were restored. And that's what, I wanted to ask people about. What is it? Who is it? Where was it that you last had your soul restored?
Ship Church.
That was
actually when we went on a cruise, and it was me and my wife's first one. We had gotten a terrible argument, like the worst one since we've been married, and we newlyweds, right? And once we got on that ship, God pushed us, shifted. He shifted us through that. I mean, and it was weird, right? Like as soon as we walked up that plank with our suitcases, our spirits was different.
Right.
Like God already knew I was going to be in charge of Shift Church. So I had to get it right with my wife first, So it was bananas. It was special, man. It was special. All the chats and posts I'm in, we all talking about Ship Church.
That's nice. That's really special. Having been a part of that, and some, mornings when we go to work, we would, because we were still recording the shows and things during that time, and we would pass and people were coming out, and you're right. It was like, more come as you are, just come. Just come and be a part of this. And you don't think in terms of a cruise being one, the Tom Joyner Foundation Fantastic Voyage being one, of restoration of the soul, but certainly that became a big part of it.
That's what Lisa, a Baltimore teacher. So we were just the first Monday, we had a singer, and then we was going to do something else, bring on another singer, and then the lady, and shout out to Denny's, April. Kelly Drummond, from Denny's, and her board chair, Brenda,
louder back.
Absolutely. And April said, man, let's not have a group. Let's just get testimonies. So we went around the room with the mics and what people were saying about, I wasn't even supposed to be on this ship. I just got diagnosed with cancer 4 months ago. I'm healed before I can. Like we just did that on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got a group of people that trust each other and cry with each other. And it was all led by a comedian. It was, I mean, to somebody like, well, he on with Erica Campbell. It don't so, but I was really trying to get my comedy on
Right.
this cruise, man, because it was my first one, and I kind of was mad that nobody never brought me before, especially when I was with the company. But God told me is because you were
Your
single.
time.
That's what he told me out loud. I was like, and then all the times I could, because you were single. Oh, got it.
You were supposed to make that fantastic voyage with your bride.
You saw her name at the bottom of
That's right. Yeah.
bottom of the video. Look, I got so I said, look at that Griffin girl right there. Leanika. Every time I see her name, it make me smile. And my phone is say Lanika hyphen favor. Because Proverbs 18:22 say, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, but they leave out and obtains favor from the Lord.
Come on,
I
Griff.
want all my favor.
Yeah.
I can get some more.
Yeah. That's
So
really special.
I'm really reminded of the favor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you gonna be mad at your favor? Are you gonna feel a way about your favor? Are you so God give you a gift and this how you treat it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, so I can't stay mad, but for about 19 minutes or so. Like
19. And that's the thing
19,
about Griff.
right?
Griff
19
is so OCD that when he says 19, it means 19 minutes.
I'm on the spectrum of autism. It's a big spectrum. Everybody is. If you know stuff and you ain't supposed to, you on the spectrum. So I enjoy the spectrum. It don't hurt my feelings. It's good for my career.
So Griff, talk about the Baltimore teacher and author. I think you said she was like a principal or a teacher or something.
Assistant principal in Baltimore, Lisa Kalisha. And she told me, Griff, I was at the end. I had nothing coming on this cruise. I didn't expect anything. My spirit was low. And this ship church restored my soul, but it also restored mine. It restored Lanika's, and then we was all able to get drunk and appreciate a lot better. Let me tell you, Christian, something. Let me tell you something. It was me who brought the whiskey in the mouthwash. It was me. It was so good, though. I let the mouthwash bottle sit for like 33 hours. Right? And then I was like, I don't know. When I put the Tullamore Dew whiskey in it, the sticker on the bottle where it said intense, it was gold. So it looked like they go like, you know. But then my spirit. Everybody's like, my spirit wasn't saying, why you sneak whiskey on the church? Because God know me. He know what I'm gonna do. He know I could put half a bottle of whiskey in a scope bottle and still host ship church. Like it's Greater Nation. He know what it is.
and help restore thy soul.
You know, one of the cameramen from media, he came up to me one day and he said, Griff, I don't know how much you encourage people, but when I saw you at the Sherelle and Denise Williams and Shantae Moore concert and you was funny, then I saw you at Ship Church and you was funny. Then you hosted the Atlanta Kings of Crunk show and you were funny and you was off the chain. Then you went to the after party. Then you still Ship Church. He was like, you are an unapologetic Christian. Like you love the Lord. Because like you, and that's a huge compliment.
It really is. It really is.
That.
And do you feel, because I haven't gotten up at the hours that you do now for many years, do you feel guided at that hour of the morning by the Lord, or are you just by the grace of God, you're getting up and getting
So I wake up so mad at my wife. As soon as that stupid alarm go off, I go, Look at who get to sleep. But here go the hammer. She then gets up, puts on a robe, goes in the kitchen, chops up my apples, and I be for my smoothie, and I'll be like, "Why you go to bed? You're gonna have a great day today." Ah! But as soon as I wake up, I listen to a different sermon. I've had for the last 5 years. Every day, I listen to different. Normally, Stephen Furtick, Darius Daniels. I like John Henry out of Arlington. I like Jamal Bryant. I listen to my own pastor, Jesse Kearney III from New Mercies Christian Church, who baptized me in April 13th, 2003.
And is he the fellow that married you and Lunica? Yeah,
Mhm.
that was really
Pastor
nice.
Kearney. Yeah, that's my dude. We don't like each other during football season.
Right.
Like we be real. Yeah, what up, Pastor? Nice sermon. I mean, if you're gonna have a sermon
Now,
on it.
now let me go watch the Raiders kick the,
Falcon.
somebody.
Yeah, diehard
He's a
Falcon.
Falcons.
But I thank God that people can see that God's not lame. Praying and learning. Go to therapy. I got a new therapist. I can't wait. I had to do my intake stuff today. So what's your triggers? What's your stressors? And I can't wait to learn ways to break even more generational curses, because my family, nobody went to therapy. And if my mama bipolar and my daddy bipolar, I'm a quarter polar at least from my blood. So I'm just a quarter.
Quarter polar.
Quarter polar. Nobody talk about the quarter polars. But to hear my children at 28 saying, "Dad, I'm going to therapy," and like therapy is okay. Like I push it. And we heard somebody recently on the radio say, after she told this tragic story, I said, "Do you go to therapy?" She was like, "No." And she said, "But I kind of therapize myself." And after she was done talking, we was like, "No, we go to therapy." That sounds good, but the Holy Spirit is telling you to go to therapy, and you fighting Jesus. You better go lay on the couch and tell him what happened in the 9th grade.
Okay. I thank you for that, Chris. Because you've restored my soul in just our conversation. I really appreciate that, Griff. And I think in this season of gratitude and blessings and what have you, I'm just really glad to have your friendship and to hear your words, and as you come off of that ship and what it did for you and Ship Church. Let's move to the What You Need to Know newsletter, Griff. And this is an opportunity for us to talk about the things that are in the news, especially as they affect the African American community. This is our opportunity to connect people with news that affects our people. And so if you will go to SybilWilkes.com and subscribe, it's absolutely free, and we'll have it in your email box each Monday through Friday morning, including next week, during the holidays and into the holiday season. All right, so the first story, we talk about hashtag no more excuses. There were protesters out before the White House marching for voting rights. They don't want the president to get it twisted. You're doing okay. You had a hard enough time getting this first infrastructure bill passed. That is a lot of money that is going to do good, hopefully, in a lot of communities around the country, especially for our communities. When you look at the water situations in a number of cities, including Jackson, Mississippi, let us not forget Flint, and outside of Chicago, there are, every state can probably
in Detroit, the Midwest,
exactly. So that's going to be good, but you also need to show us that you can walk and chew gum at the same time. Politically speaking, legislatively speaking, there's still so much more to be done, and especially in terms of the voting rights bills.
Joe Biden he the neighbor that talk to you sometimes, but when you talk to him, it'd be real cool. Like he tell you about his life, and then you don't hear from him for 5 months, and then he come talk to you again and show you that you're raking wrong. Just a weird season. I feel like he's patching up so much from the last presidency, he's man.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
lot of patching. You're right.
you know what I'm saying? So I be trying to cut him some slack sometimes because we don't know what the fact that Biden can have a Zoom call with somebody from Japan or Asia is a big deal.
Yeah, with the premier of China. Yeah,
What's his name was talking about, I could blow y'all up, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
you can't talk to people like that. So I feel like I hope in my mind, I hope he's behind the curtain fixing everything. My man came in and just destroyed decades of relationships. I hope he's fixing that at the same time. But I'm with you. While you getting trillions and checking on people in Kenosha, what's up with this voting bill?
Yeah. And it's not enough for you to say that, to promise that you're going to get something done and to get there and promise bipartisanship when that's not in their hearts. That's not what they're about. And so you have to make that additional step, Mr. President, in order to carve out of this bill the need for a filibuster. And that means you will not have to have 60 people, 60 senators to vote for this bill. You're going to have to do whatever it is you have to do in order to get this done. Because, Griff, on the other side of this, you got 49 states that have passed hundreds of bills which are designed to prevent us from voting. That's their main focus, is to stop people of color from voting.
Right.
It's taking people's souls to the polls, whether it's, the amount of time, what
you
can
can't
have
get
in
something
line.
to drink if you standing in line. You can't buy somebody else something. I know. So my question is, what is Kamala talking about right now? Like, even if Joe Biden was so busy, why can't his vice president say, hey, I'm cool with everything we talking about, voting bill. Let's get the voting. I mean, blah, 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 Japan.
Yeah. Right.
I'm black.
And that's what a lot of people are saying, because he has put things on her plate, and we're trying to see and support our vice president with, all of these things that have been assigned to her. And she was assigned almost at the beginning of the administration. Voting rights is one of her things. And so we need to see some semblance of progress. We need to get a feeling that you're on the case.
Kamala, by Christmas. we're not trying to hear this fiscal year, blah, blah, blah. We would not like to go into the 22. And let's just say, thank you, Jesus, for carrying us from 20, February of 20, where the whole world was about to be Armageddon, and all the zombie movies I watched was I would have survived.
Let there be no doubt about that. Yes.
I don't watch all them zombie movies. I would survive. And here we are about to come up on 22 in the entertainment business. Stuff is picking up, but a lot of people have been saying since early this year, March of 22, I'm doing a TED Talk in February in Wyoming. Like, I was supposed to do it in January, so everything that you were supposed to do just got pushed back to 22. Right. Like, I feel as a black person, as a black human being, as a human being that wasn't able to pick my skin color, we need to do better as a people, man. I think I've been doing comedy for so long, but I really think I'm a sociologist.
I believe you are. I think you got a little bit of everything in there. The comedy, you got the preacher
comedy
in
just
you.
let me talk to him. But if you look at my phone, you see that gold thing in the back? That's the Nobel Peace Prize.
That's what you're going for?
Yeah, I'm a win that. And it's the only thing I think about. So I sit with curriculum writers and international parliament members, and I want everybody to say, he was a comedian, right? Like, I don't want to do politics, but I know I can make change. and
and
I've
and
said since I was a kid, I
I
want to
never
change
knew
the
that
world.
about you, but I'm glad to be there to push you right along and get you towards that Nobel Peace Prize. Let
Yeah,
me ask you this, because you are a man who not only balances your placement in a number of different areas, but you
I'm a
live in
Libra.
a number of different areas too. In Georgia, in Atlanta, there the race is on for another mayor. That's one of our stories. A new mayor in they're going for the runoff election, which happens at the end of November for the position. The last mayor said she didn't want any more of this, and
This is what I love. We call her Mayor Peaches. This is what I love about Mayor Peaches, who was an egg that
Keisha
A.
Lance Bottoms, yes.
Yeah. Oh man, she's so awesome. Went to FAMU, like she
Hmm.
black.
And her
When
daddy was Major Lance, so come on.
when the when the when the governor put her in that bad situation, she was like, "I'm cool. You
Yep.
won't have me looking crazy out here with this fake politics. I don't want to play. Y'all can have it." Now
Right.
Kasim want to come back, and I think Bill. So Fulton County is as big as Atlanta, and my kids. I lived in Fulton and Gwinnett, and Fulton. I mean, I got my fifth kid is going to Westlake High School. Like I
Hmm.
got 5 Lions that went there. So I've been in Fulton County. I know Bill. I think Bill is one of the ones running. People don't know Kasim used to own a record label,
Right.
hip hop, R&B. Kasim and them was popping bottles in '04 and '05 at the clubs. So Kasim know Atlanta, but Kasim got a little trickery in him that black people don't like especially in the South. So the South is funny. They want you to not think they slow and dumb, but then they also don't want their intelligence insulted either.
Hmm.
So it's a fine line how you play the South. You can't come from New York and be like, oh, it's the South. Like, no, the Southern hospitality will trick you into that gangster that's going on down there too.
Okay. So he did not make the runoff, and
I
Felicia
know.
Moore, who is the president of the city council, is running, as well as city councilor Andre Dickens. And the question is, who's going to lead Atlanta? They've had a debate, and there will certainly, I'm thinking, with the time left, there will be other opportunities for people to make their decision and to hear them. But this is going to be interesting. First of all, and it looks like Felicia Moore well, she did lead in the general election, but it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, and what the future of Atlanta looks like.
Right. Because Atlanta's a red state for reals.
Yeah,
Well,
the
used to
state of
be.
Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah. And we always must be reminded that we are only 13% of the country.
Hmm.
That's 44 million black people out of 320 million people. So it's a good portion of them in the South, you
Right.
know. But if you as progressive and great for African Americans that Atlanta is, if you go 51 minutes in any direction, you are you in Georgia.
Okay.
That's when deputies pull you over and
Hmm.
sheriffs. You
Hmm.
understand me? So uh
And people who self-deputize themselves, which is why we're in the situation in the murder trial of
Georgia's
Ahmaud
crazy,
Arbery.
man.
Yeah.
Georgia, you better stay in Atlanta or leave. Like you keep going far outside, they talk to you different.
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's what our political writer Cameron Riley talks about, who will lead the Black Mecca. And so check out that story in the newsletter. Oh, so now we're waiting on all of the pharmaceutical companies, Griff, to get the permission from the government, the CDC, about the boosters. What do you think about the boosters?
I have to watch my smart tongue. I I said from the beginning, I'm not taking the vaccine unless it impedes my travel.
Hmm.
Um, and I got asked to be a part of a very special event. And then a couple days later, they emailed me and said, everybody that's part of it got to be vaccine,
Hmm.
or have the vaccination. which was fine. And I feel like I got a better dose only taking it 2 or 3 months ago. Like some real scientists had a year and a half to look at the ones they gave me.
Mhm.
Now the booster, I just took the damn shots.
So I don't need no damn booster.
I mean, and then people who take the shots get COVID, and I don't like that. Like I don't. In
Yeah.
the beginning, it was get the shot, never get COVID. Now is you could get COVID, but it won't be as COVID-y.
Griff, I want to have you back because I want to have the discussion with you about this, and especially like with, I mean, we both love football, and I haven't had an opportunity to really talk about the whole, Aaron situation, and getting it, and all that entailed. But I want us to have a discussion because I see people still, we're so busy fighting and so angry with each other about this. But I really do want to have the discussion.
I look at it like this, Sibs. And then everybody wants to say, well, we don't know what's in it.
Right.
If you ever had chitlins, take the vaccine.
There's
if
so
you
many
ever
things from our
made a
childhood.
bologna sandwich in your life, take the vaccine.
You're right. You're absolutely
If
right.
you ever drank out of a water hose in the 70s with the rust,
Come
take the
on.
vaccine.
Come on.
So
If your
we
mama's
know
never
that
done
our
this to
government,
you.
right. If you ever got whooped with a switch that was braided,
Yeah. Okay.
call the police. Don't take the vaccine. You being abused. Okay.
That's Griff, one of the other things that we do talk about in the newsletter, and I'm so proud of our affiliation with these wonderful women from the Black and Missing Foundation. Two sisters. One is a PR maven, the other is a former policewoman. And that's Natalie and Derica Wilson. And they have formed this company, which has brought children and adults and children alike back to their families. Those have been missing. Today we talk about Alexa Alexander. This is a school teacher from Chicago. She
Right.
drove to visit her son in Arizona, and she's been missing since mid October. And so she is a 50-something-year-old Black woman. Her picture is there in the newsletter. And this mother, this education member of the Chicago public school system, is missing since mid-October. She's 50-something years old. She is a average height 5'5", 150 pounds, and she went to visit her son, and we have not seen, and her friends and family have not seen her for well over a month. So please take a look at that, and also take a look at the Black and Missing Foundation in total, because they are a wonderful organization. It may not be Alexa that you help find, but there may be somebody you have come across that you've seen, and you can make a big difference.
Hey,
All right.
Sib, when I get Amber Alerts on my phone, I be walking outside saying, I wish a red Datsun would pass. I be driving, don't let me get one in the car. I start going like this. Oh, it's a silver Chevy truck out here.
Okay. Griff, let me ask you as we move to entertainment, I want you, have you seen this Twitter beef between fans of Whitney Houston and Taylor Swift? Who is the better singer?
Oh, that sounds like it's a special ed class that they let him use the computer for the first time. Oh, yes, him is. Who voted for Whitney?
So this is the Twitter beef. It's not a versus; it's the Twitter beef, and apparently there is bad blood between the fans. It's not right, but it's okay. They say the curses and epithets are being tossed around on Twitter between the fan camps of the Taylor Swift and the always I will always love you, always incredible Whitney Houston.
Well, you gotta love that every time somebody say I will always love you, Dolly Parton gets some money. Dolly
Okay.
Parton got a whole amusement park that I've been to, a
Yeah.
whole resort. Like she has nothing but praise of Whitney Houston.
And here's the other thing, Griff. Have you seen the donation she's given in Whitney's name as a result of the royalties?
Absolutely.
How great
She's
is
making
that?
that much money.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
she blessed. Listen, Dolly Parton loved black people.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is really crazy, this whole thing. But that's what Twitter, that's what social media
Taylor
does.
Swift is an amazing writer. She gets the
She's a
whole
great writer.
360, as far as publishing. And I think she just got her master's back. So
Right.
now she
Right.
was able to re-release that. And her real fans, she can get her money,
Hmm.
not. But she always was selling out concerts, but she needed to because she wasn't getting her money on the back end like
That's right.
Dolly Parton.
That's right.
So now that she could slow down on the concerts and then really just put her music back out kind of and people buy it again. It'll be even better probably because of the streaming and how much more prevalent it is.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that you mentioned about her getting her music back, getting her masters, and all of that nonsense. And I hope that it is a word to the wise to kids that are coming up. The winners of The Voice and all of those other shows, that they are being mindful of how.
Look at Britney Spears. Look at,
Oh,
I
wow.
mean,
Yeah.
I was one of them people saying free Britney. like that was kind of cold what Pops was doing and then
Pops was
making her
running the
look
game,
crazy. And she ain't had her money in
right?
17 years. Like she ain't never get to spend none of that. So
And
it was
now she's
fun
going like this, Griff. She's like, for real, for
as she
real.
should.
Yeah, yeah,
As she should. Her dad did her wrong. It really just proves that in this business, your own family too.
yeah. Okay,
When they start
okay.
seeing the numbers, when they start that greed muscle get stronger and stronger, and then it be well, just take this little bit, and then the money, and okay, we'll put, and next thing you know, 10 years down the road, I robbed you.
Okay.
So I used to read People magazine when I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I always knew words like actors and their estranged family. And
Right.
then I had to go to encyclopedias and real dictionaries and look up the word estranged. And basically it just meant they love the business more than their family.
Mm.
They love the
Mm-hmm.
cars and the money in it. So I knew in the 70s, like, oh, I said, as soon as I have kids, I'm gonna love my kids way more than this business, but
Wow.
I'm gonna do the business too.
So, Griff, as we wrap this up, first of all, I want to thank you, and we are going to leave you with a Yogi's Jewel. But I want to thank you because you just are such a tremendous talent. You do so much, as I said, in restoring my soul, as you have. And I miss our day-to-day contact, but I love having the opportunity to come on with you and Erica once a week. Once again, how can people find the amazing Griff and listen to you on Get Up Mornings?
Man, I just thank you, my liege. I'm at 2 trillion on everything. The number 2, the word trillion, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is Griff is 2 trillion. Griff is the number 2 and the word trillion. And you can hear me every morning check your local listings. But you can go to getuperica.com. I'm on from 6 to 10 Eastern, Monday through Friday, 5 to 9 Central. And we talk about the Lord. We have fun. And I bring the whole Proverbs 17:22 to the show. So it's a nice mixture of feel good in the morning.
And laughter is good medicine. All right, Griff, as we leave you with Yogi's Jewel for today, you have only been granted a certain amount of time to really live your life abundantly. You've only been granted a certain amount of time to really live your life abundantly.
Absolutely.
You are living your life abundantly. You really are.
Yogi, that's beautiful. I believe that. That's my. You better not play with it. You ain't got time to be mad. You know what I'm saying? What if you die? Why you mad? That sucks for everybody because they remember you one way.
That's true for all of us. Yep. And speaking of Yogi, just want to give a shout out to the little people that she is with this evening, her nieces and nephew. Want to give a shout out to Isis and Jordan and Genesis and Malachi. They're all there with Aunt Londa.
Awesome names.
Yeah, they are.
Awesome
and Nana,
names.
also known as Sister. All right, you guys. Thanks so much, Griff. I love you. Thank you so very much. And we'll see you all again soon. Aloha.
Love you, babe.